has given a twister ahead of the Karnataka elections, with former Chief Minister Siddaramaiah announcing that if the Congress comes to power, the party will remove the quota cap at 50% and raise it to 75% as per population. What are the legal dynamics surrounding this pitch? Joining me is Justice Santosh Hegde, former Supreme Court judge and Karnataka Lokayukta. Mr. Justice Hegde, really appreciate your time. This is a promise which has been made in the middle of a heated campaign to increase a reservation limit from 50 to 75 based on population, as you would have seen Mr. Siddaramaiah's comment. Is this legally tenable?
It's impossible. The Supreme Court has already held any reservation over and above 50% is unconstitutional because it violates Article 14 of the Constitution of India. Reservation is meant for a certain class of people who had certain problems in getting qualifications, and because of that, to help them out from that problem, it was the reservation was brought in. It is not brought in to help the politicians to get votes, and that's exactly what is happening today and all. You see, in 1946, in the Constituent Assembly, Babasaheb Ambedkar says a class of people in this country have suffered from want of education because of social boycottness and all. Because of that, they were not in a position to compete with others who had access to education. Therefore, the jobs in the government are not available to those classes of people who have suffered from social boycott. So he pleaded that to give some reservation for a limited period of 10 years only, and that too for two classes of people, scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, who were admittedly had certain social problems in having education and competing with other sections of the society. And that 10 years is over for 1960. We are thereafter been, I think, over 50 years now and all. We have not been able to bring them to the level of others and all in this country. Are the politicians admitting that they have failed to bring them to the level of others in this country? Let them first admit it, then ask for reservations. Today, reservations are being promised only to get vote of those class of people. What about others? There are poor people in other classes also. They struggle. They go to schools and colleges, and they can get qualified to be considered for a job in the state and the government job. But then they are now being deprived of the promises that is being made by the politician. What is reservation? If 75% of the seats are reserved for certain class of people, what is left for the meritorious people? But the fault is there in the sense, as anticipated, those people who suffered from social boycott have not come to the level of others because of some other reason. That is because benefit of reservation is taken by the people belonging to that caste, but who have overcome that problem, got themselves into all big jobs in the state administration. Today, the benefit of reservation goes to the children of ministers, MLAs, MPs, judges, IAS officers, IPS officers, and such like people belonging to that community.
Okay.
The others who are doing the other jobs there, they don't get this benefit at all.
Justice Hegde, if this is legally untenable, and we have seen such promises being made by multiple political parties, multiple state governments also, and also look at the redistribution of quota that was, promised by the Boumai government, which has been put a stay on by the Supreme Court because the Supreme Court finds it flawed. Why do you think this becomes a hot button issue before elections?
They're making other promises like free electricity, free pension, and all sorts of monetary benefits and other promises are being made, which is likely to ruin the economy of this country. Look at the promises. They don't think about the country at all. They only think in terms of they're getting elected. And of course, many of them forget those promises that are made thereafter and all, after the elections are over and all. But just see what exactly happened. Now we are talking about reservation. Now, if really the reservation is confined to people who have been denied the access to education and other things, then it should be given to people of the communities mentioned in the reservation list and all, who do not have the benefit of having got this job in the earlier selections and all. Therefore, according to me, people, the children of IAS officers, IPS officers, judges of all categories of judges and politicians, they should be kept out of this reservation.
Absolutely.
And give the benefit to those people who have not had the benefit of reservation at least once in their lifetime. Then alone it will reach the bottom. Yes. Otherwise, it won't reach the bottom at all. Because a scavenger's son doesn't get a chance of going to a tutorial college for getting trained for the examination. He doesn't have that money with the thing at all. Though he belongs to the caste.
Unfortunate at the same time, Justice Hegde, my last question to you. 75 years of India's independence, and we continue to talk about reservation in the manner in which it is being done in Karnataka. We see that this is not really driven by economic backwardness, but pure political calculations by the whims and fancies of politicians who are looking at it based purely on caste calculations, the arithmetic around elections.
It looks like it today. It is based on the likelihood of that community which gets the reservation will vote for them, the party which has made these promises and all. What is reservation? Reservation is an exception to the rule of equality, which is promised under Article 14 of the Constitution of India. An exception cannot be the rule. When you give it more than 50%, doesn't it become a rule? Therefore, the meritorious people are an exception in the society from the day Siddaramaiah comes to power. So there should be a reservation in their favor.
All right. All right. Justice Hegde, really appreciate your time and thank you for explaining the nuances and various